So glad you're joining us today. We're going to fill this floral foam heart-shaped oasis with flowers. And best way to do it is very small flowers, and we're going to get right on that technique very shortly. Happy Valentine's Day. We have just very few tools today. You've got your floral heart, which is sold dry in packs of 2, and we're only going to use 1 today. So you're just going to soak the one that you need, and you would soak it the normal way in a bucket of water. I like to flip it face down and then let it sink to the bottom, and then I'll flip it over, make sure it's really soaked. It's quite heavy. Our other elements we're using today is a little bit of greenery, and we call this variegated boxwood. Usually a lot of bushes around the country growing those in your yard. Then we have this beautiful purple wax flower, very sweet also. And then a darling little spray rose in sort of a medium pink. As you can see, all the elements are very small, and we need that because our heart is very small. This one is, but all of you have big hearts, and you're getting ready to learn how to do this. Our first step is to use greenery to give our heart an outline. And so what you want to do though is not lose the shape of your heart. So you want to keep your heart in good shape, right? So it's visible and healthy. So what we're going to do is we're going to add little pieces of greenery directly in and leaning on the lip of the frame. So we're going to give it a fresh cut because remember, stems close in 10 seconds. And we're going to pop it right in like that. And then we're going to trim. And then we're going to layer it again right above it. And then we're going to trim again. And then you're going to pull a couple leaves off if it's too much in the way. So you have a nice piece of stem there. And then we're going to pop it in on the top. So we've got this wonderful layered winged branches going right in. So we take our next piece, going right next to it, like that, trimming. We have enough stem there to go in, layering up, and then trimming. And I'm going to pull a couple leaves off again to get enough stem, and that one's going to go right in on top with the tip. One more time, and then we're going to come in close and get a really good look at what I'm doing. But it's winging because the little leaves go on either side, look like little wings, and then we're layering. So winging it and layering it. Do that again, coming in, and again, and I'm going to put this one down so you can see, placing right on top. This is hiding all of the floral foam. All right, so let's come in close and we'll take another look. So we're going to continue on around the heart, and you want to just maintain that same routine. So you're going to pop your stem in there, trim it to the length that you want, and then peeling off those little leaves, and then again popping it right in there, finishing it off. That way your whole side of all the edges is going to be covered by greenery and losing that floral foam, because you just don't ever want to see the foam. We call it a foam paw these days, and you just don't want to ever see it. Again, trimming, layering, trimming, pulling, and placing. Very sweet. So we've got a whole side almost done. So what I'm going to do is continue all the way around the heart, and then we'll come back to see what our next step is going to be. We've completed the outer rim with our boxwood, and boxwood comes also in just regular green too, so not the variegated color, so you can have your option. But the leaves are usually about this small, which is perfect for this sort of coverage. And we did the technique all the way around, the winging it and the layering it, just to get this wonderful fluffy look, but you can still see that it's a heart. When you put it upright like this, you're going to have some water that drips out, but that's okay. But while you're working on it, best to just leave it flat so you can get as much water as you can into those stems. And then we'll show you at the end how we're going to hang this. Next, we've got to add some flowers. So let's get started with that. We're going to use these spray roses, and spray roses are simply roses that are much smaller, and on one stem you may have up to, gosh, looks like 12 or 15 blooms on here. And some of the buds haven't opened yet. Some are just starting to open and some are a little bit further along. So they're fun to use in this kind of an arrangement because they're small, they have little stems, so they're not going to take up a lot of space, and they're going to still open. And at this point, since all of them are in various stages of opening, is going to give us a little bit of a fun look here. So we want to go pretty short with these, and again, the same rule applies. 10 seconds before that stem starts to shut down, so we want to make it pretty fast work. And so I'm going to start right here on the edge, practically in the beginning, the top of the heart. And I turn it this way so you can see. And I'm going to go straight up with my blooms, and then maybe you decide to put a little bud in there as well. And you want to not vary the height too much, but a little bit to make it interesting. But we're trying to go for sort of a pave look, which is keeping everything about the same level. So a little bit different size openings, starting out really cute, staying in this upper level, following that line, a little bit of a bud in there, because you might be giving this arrangement to a bud of yours, so it's kind of sweet to have the buds in there. Maybe it's a budding romance, very appropriate also, using these little flowers. So as you can see, I'm making pretty quick work on this and clustering them, but let's get a close-up look of the placement. So we'll check on that, and then we'll fill up the whole thing with our buds. We have our little section that we've already started, so we're going to keep working around the heart in that manner, and just taking one at a time. Don't try to get more than that in there. That one's really sweet. And then one maybe that's a little bit more open, staying right on the edge of the heart. Maybe a little bud there. This bud's for you. Are you allowed to say that? Maybe this rosebud's for you. Oh, this one's really open. And that's how they're all going to continue to open, so it's going to be really pretty. And then maybe I'll use a little one down at the tip here. And then I'm going to go up the other direction. Okay, going straight down is also pretty safe. You've got a lot of foam that you can go into. If you don't want to make those stems too long, because then it's not going to drink because it's going to be flat against the frame. So you want to have them just about an inch or so going in. And tuck this one in like that. Cute. Let's go a little bit of a white side there. Little streak of gray. I think I cut that one a little too short. Got plenty to work with. Another bud in there. Filling in. And I'm going to keep on going, and then we'll come back and we'll add the last couple in frame. And we have time for just one more and room for just one more. I just cut it. It's a little bit long, so I'm going to pull it. I'm going to give it a quick trim, put it back right in the upper corner of the heart. And I think it looks really pretty. And we're still going to add one more thing, because just around the rim between the greenery and the roses, I can see a little foam. So we're going to fill it in with some really cute purple wax flower and just get that whole Valentine feeling going. We are ready to add our last element, and this is sweet little wax flower. It's got this great little greenery on it as well, and they'll actually last a pretty long time, but they do need water. So we're going to put these in, and we're going to go all around the roses. So ring around the rosy with our wax. It's going to be really sweet. Kit did a little prep for me, so we're going to pull those little ones in, and I'm going to cut and place, and we're going to fill around the roses. Continuing on the line here, giving it a little trim, and see how little that stem is, making sure that you're feeding it right in where it meets the foam. It's really important. That way you aren't going to break the little stem going in. Cutting and placing. And we can go back and take a look and see if we need to add a little bit more. But basically now we just want to go along this line and cover that foam. Maybe a little bit bigger piece. Sorry. Yikes. He's sticking out way too much, so I'm actually going to trim that away and pop it in individually. So you can see it takes a little bit of time to place everything, but it'll be worth it because you gotta have heart. And you have to give your heart away sometimes to people who need it and people you love. All right, I'm going to continue working around the upper part of the heart, but right now we're off to a great start.